I couldn't see myself in a couple of years doing what I'm doing now, which is what I love, and making impact and income. Yeah, so I made $7,000 in 30 days. You need to invest in someone who has proven results and who can show you a clear roadmap. If you ever look up the word over deliver in the dictionary, you're probably gonna see a picture of Richard.
Okay, what's up everyone? So I am with my student. This is Matthew here, and Matt is a rock star. He's been crushing inside of our business coaching program. Matt here is a friendship coach, a very unique title. Pretty much he helps people build more meaningful relationships. You're like, whoa, is this actually certification? In the next few minutes, you're actually gonna find out. There is no certification for this. We created this from scratch because Matthew truly has a passion and a vision for helping people with this. So Matt, in 30 seconds or less, could you just give like a quick introduction into, who you are and what you do?
Yeah, hey guys, my name is Matt. I'm from Canada, and I essentially teach people the skills and the mindset of how to create, meaningful relationships. And, in this time of COVID, this is something that I feel like people absolutely need. People's relationship skills have atrophied. And I built this business while working a 9-to-5 job. I am working 9 to 5 right now. But yeah, just absolutely excited and to talk with my mentor here, Richard, and to share what's been going on.
Yeah, super cool. Now, let me ask you, Matt, right before you're joining our program, I know we kind of mentioned off camera, you've, tried so many different ways. You're part of an MLM, multiple different kinds of, dabbling toes in entrepreneurial space. Could you tell me what you're struggling with before you began working with me and my team?
Yeah, so as you mentioned before, I did MLM. I tried to sell vitamin products. I even tried to start my own social media agency. The biggest thing I struggled with was, accountability and having a clear roadmap to actually achieving success. And just the business models, it didn't really drive me. It didn't really motivate me to succeed.
Why do you think that was? Like, why do you think when you're trying the multi-level marketing, selling supplements, the social media marketing agency, like, why don't you think you were motivated?
Yeah, because I didn't really see it changing people's lives. Like, I know people would sell it as if, you're doing something. I mean, sure, maybe it does. Other people think that it could change lives, but for me, I saw true impact when I could see people's lives changing in their relationships and in their own life and development. So that didn't really motivate me. It almost became like it was more money driven, if anything.
Got it. Okay, so really with these previous entrepreneurial ventures, you didn't feel like you're helping people, and it was more just about making money to survive, right? Or making money just to make money. Got it. Okay, that makes sense. Actually, very similar to my story. So let me ask you this, man. When you joined our program, took action, you started working with me and my team. What were some of the things that were really helpful just in the very beginning that really got the ball rolling and started for you to start pick up some steam in your business?
Yeah, for me, the biggest things that you guys emphasized and continue to emphasize that really keep me going is really adapting a play to win mindset. Because so often, you go in and you're just kind of like just trying to just get by. But what you guys really do is lay a roadmap and really emphasize, like you say things like success loves speed, and it all makes sense, but you guys really on the mindset piece. That's what really got me going. And you showed us like kind of some ways to get some quick wins to get that momentum going. Yeah, so those were just a couple of things. I could probably name like a million.
Yeah, if you could be more specific, right, with like quick win stuff, perhaps was it the sales strategy we taught you, the TMPs?
Definitely. Yeah, definitely. The TMPs, really honing down on what it is that people need, right? Because so often in business, we just come in with an assumption like, oh yeah, I think this person needs that. Oh, maybe they need this. But the way you have it structured is really digging down into people's pains and offering a solution. So there's that. And oh man, sales. Yeah. The sales process, you guys just, oh man, absolutely killer. It's I've always thought I knew sales, like, because I just was a confidence coach, but you guys have it structured in a way that, somebody who's never done sales, who probably just was like 7 years old, 8 years old, could probably sell.
Yeah, yeah, it's a really, we give you a plug and play framework, right? It's like
Yeah,
watch these modules, implement these worksheets, these spreadsheets, and you have a selling machine that's literally download and go, right?
that's it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's awesome, man. Now let's talk specific numbers. If you could be specific of sales generated in what time frame, what were you able to do in terms of sales inside of our program?
Yeah. So I made $7,000 in 30 days.
That's incredible. 7K in 30 days. And how does that compare to you working at your 9 to 5 job?
Man, I made more than double what I
Mhm.
made in my current job with like less hours. With
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So I think what's really interesting is, if you're making say 4K per month at your full-time job, but that's you working 40 hours a week. Were you
Yeah.
working 40 hours a week on the side business that you're building with us?
No. No. No, man. I was like some weeks it wasn't even like half of it.
Mhm.
Um yeah, we have 15 to 20 hours on average. I was working on my business.
That's cool, man. So working 15, 20 hours, some hours before work, some hours after work. But I think the beautiful thing about what you've done, Matt, is you're a testimony of the fact that you can build a side hustle that can replace your 9 to 5 income, right? And for anyone watching, like if you have a 9 to 5 job and you want to leave, you have a burning desire to want to be full-time entrepreneur, like it was the same for me. I had a 9 to 5 and I made a company that did 500,000 in 8 months. That was my first productivity coaching program. You can do the same. And you can create freedom for yourself. You don't just have to quit a job. So have you kind of like, what's the vision now for you now that you've seen what's possible with this business?
Yeah, so for me right now, the goal is to, make this full time, make this my full time job, be able to quit my 9 to 5. I know it's a very very common phrase, but Richard, is something that I've always heard that like, oh, yeah, let's quit the 9 to 5. But this is something that it's actually coming to life, and I can see a clear path to achieving that.
That's fantastic. Let me ask you this, Matt. Why did you almost not join our program? People get nervous. They think of the investment. We are a premium price coaching program. We're not cheap. I like to say I don't sell anything that's cheap because I don't sell anything that sucks. We're a really good program compared to our competitors in the space. We're definitely not the most affordable one, but there's a reason for it, right? And so people hear the price, or maybe they don't think they can do it. Oh man, I don't know, Richard, if I can do what you've done or what you've helped your clients do. Like, what was going through your mind? And off camera, you mentioned that you're almost shivering on or shaking on the strategy session with us, right? Could you kind of just touch on that?
Yeah. So, funny story. It was actually my sister's birthday that day. So we had the sales call before I went to go see her. And I was shaking. Like I came into the party and people were like, dude, did you see a ghost or something? Like you're absolutely shaking because yes, I did have some objections initially coming in and moving forward. And one of the biggest objections that I had was I've been doing this for so long. Like I've been trying to make a business. I've been trying to make a bigger income. I'm like, how is this going to be any different?
Hmm.
I couldn't see myself in a couple of years doing what I'm doing now, which is what I love and making impact and income. And so just coming out of that old mindset was what really, really scared me. Second thing was my qualifications, right? I was like, I'm not as, I don't have any certifications. I don't have any educational backgrounds. So I'm like, could I really make an impact just through my own transformation?
Mhm. Yeah, yeah. And how are those objections shattered once you join the program? Like, so pretty much you're telling me, I don't think I can do this because what I've done in the past didn't work. So why is this any different? And the second one is I don't feel qualified. I'm not an expert, whatever expert means, right? You feel like you're not an expert. How did those shift as you joined the program, as you actually began to see results?
Yeah. So I started to see the change when, first of all, like I was starting to really get an understanding of what it is the market needed. Like, so like I said, going through the TMP sales calls, um, going through the system, and I was like seeing like, wow, okay, there's actually a need for the product that I'm trying to sell. Um, and I think for me, when it came to, transformation, like, is that enough to, yeah, like as I was starting to talked to the people in my market, they said a pain that they were dealing with. And I was like, yeah, I've actually, I've been through that. And I know the solution that's worked for me and that I know can help for you. So yeah, that really shattered. And then when I made my first sale, I was like, everything was shattered. I'm like, yeah, this works.
Yeah. As soon as you make your first sale, that's when you finally realize like, wow, I can create a high ticket program.
Yeah.
I can change people's lives with it. And I don't need a freaking certification to tell me I can do this.
That's it, man. That's so true.
Oh, I love it, man. Let me ask you this, man. This is one of my last questions is, Matt, if someone are watching this right now, maybe they're working a 9 to 5. Maybe they've been burned by business opportunities, multi-level marketing. They've tried dropshipping, e-commerce, SMMA, similar to you. And they want to do this program. They want to become a coach or consultant. They want to change and impact people's lives. And they want to make great income doing it, but they just don't believe that they can. Maybe they're in the exact shoes that you were from a few months back. What would you say to that person if they were really on the fence about joining our program?
Yeah, so I would say it all comes down to, mindset, which is, such a very, very generic thing, but you've got to get over the fact that you want to break out of your 9 to 5, you want to make impact and income, but you got to go over that hill of like, I can do this on my own. I can do this on my own. Because believe me, I've tried many different businesses. I've spent years like trying to figure this out. You need to invest in someone who has proven results and who can show you a clear roadmap. And I'm going to obviously be very biased and say Richard, because he's obviously, delivered for me, but just, invest in someone who has gotten the results that you want. Mm-hmm. And it's going to absolutely shatter your mind. And, if you're a 9 to 5 person, you've probably like lived so many years of being in that 9 to 5 mindset, where school's taught you clock in, you clock out, and that's your life. That's 8 hours gone, and, commute and all that. But I'm telling you guys, it does not have to be this way.
Mm-hmm. Wow. I love it. That's fantastic. We are very, very big in our program on over delivering. When people come in with an expectation, we want to come always out on top of how much value we give you. And then we train our students like you, hey, make sure you over deliver for your customers as well. How do you think that we've done in our job of delivering?
I made a joke about this earlier. I was saying, if you ever look up the word over deliver in the dictionary, you're probably gonna see a picture of Richard. But when I came into the program, I'm like, dude, this program's already bang on, but it just doesn't stop there. As the market adapts, as there's new things to learn, Richard and his team are not just learning and using from their own, but they're pouring it into their students so that they can see, the same results. So yeah, it's huge over delivery. I can't even fathom it. It's crazy.
I love it, Matt. Well, yeah, Matt, I just want to, again, congratulate you for the success that you've seen. 7K in 30 days is no small feat. And I just want to remind you, it's just the beginning. It's just the beginning. And I'm so excited to see where you're going to go. And me, my coaching staff, we're going to do everything we can to continue to help you growing, man. So thanks so much for making it to this interview, man.
Yeah, thanks, brother.